That is...
We said we did not have aristocrats, so
yeah.
So both
yeah,
of
that
these.
works. We haven't seen mono blue control yet either. Where's that?
Yeah. So big difference between Act 1 and Act 2 we're going to see here.
Yeah.
Blasphemous Act, Boros Reckoner, Sorin, Lord of Innistrad, and Casey's deck.
They're very different decks, really.
Yes, Blood Artist is going to be huge for Casey. But John really likes his matchup against like the other aristocrat decks. He says he has a ton of synergy available in his deck. So Casey Hanford is he's local.
Yeah,
St.
level
Peter's.
1 judge.
I hope that's
from,
local.
Well, he's from Missouri.
From
so
Missouri.
more local than you or I.
But yeah, he top 8'd the WMCQ last weekend, and he's also a level 1 judge.
Yeah.
So he probably knows Magic from both sides of the Doom Traveler against a protection from white creature.
Yeah, not the best, but yeah. That's
right,
what,
neither
it
of the turn 1 play. So Casey either did not have a untapped white source, which appears to be the case. His white source is Isolated Chapel. Yeah, he's try again.
Yeah. So Knight of Infamy gets in for 3.
Yeah, Knight of Infamy is protection from white. Very, very, very good against Casey's deck.
Cavern of Souls for John, and Cartel Aristocrat. Yeah, name's human. Cartel Aristocrat.
I hope it does, because Cartel Aristocrat needs to be, that's John's source of white mana.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Casey. Looks like his hand's pretty slow. His Sorin, Lord of Innistrad. Couple lands. This looks like a Boros Reckoner.
Passes the turn back. John untaps.
So one of the big appeals of the deck, John said, was this protection from white. Boros Reckoner is white, even if it's in a deck without any plans. John threatening. Looks like Falconwrath Aristocrat will be.
It is.
Yep,
Yeah.
there it is. It's quite a bit. It's going to be 6 damage coming over. Not easy to kill. Casey does have, I believe, Tragic Slips. There's four of those. He's going to need about 2 of them.
Yep. It'll be a good time to draw one pretty soon, because otherwise he's gonna.
Yeah, because John does not have
shuffle every game too.
Necessary 13 humans to get the Falconwrath Aristocrat out of Tragic Slip range.
Now you see the actual
Oh
aristocrat.
wow! So you see Casey's hand a little better. There are 2 Boros Reckoners not doing much.
Yeah, it looks like.
There's also Sorin. I could see that one coming into play, but Casey will have to take 2 damage to do so. It looks like his only land is a Blood Crypt.
He's also got Blasphemous active.
Yes, he just drew that this turn.
Yeah.
So Boros Reckoners aren't doing much yet, but
they soon
if he
could
just
be.
casts Reckoner and just he's gonna try for the 26th plan.
Right. Yeah.
Cast Blasphemous next turn. He could just win the game on the spot. So we'll see if John plays around that. It's very difficult to do so, especially given you could play around it with some Tragic Slips. That's idea, like if he Tragic Slips.
Right.
So John has just 1 Orzhov Charm and 4 Tragic Slips.
So he's gonna need something to deal with at least one of those Reckoners to survive the turn.
Right. Alternatively, I believe a Silverblade Paladin was lethal from John.
Oh, okay.
But
didn't have it there.
Either didn't have it or didn't have white mana. It doesn't look like he has.
Yeah, he doesn't have white. He only has 1 white in it, just off of that cavern.
Yeah.
So he gets in with the Knight of Infamy and the Falconwrath Aristocrat for another 6.
Looks like Casey's gonna not do much. He's just gonna play a couple creatures and a Wrath of God, and then the game's gonna be over.
Yeah. Blasphemous Act.
Yeah.
There it is.
So The mono creature plus Wrath of God deck strikes again.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's got to be frustrating for John. John has pretty much he's got a great draw. He goes, all right, I'm going to go. I mean, it's not ideal. Obviously, he'd rather have more access to white. But, you know, he starts with a Knight of Infamy to his opponent's white creature, and then his opponent plays a second white creature, and then you've got Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. Like, things are going according to plan. You've got Cartel
His creatures aren't really blockable,
right.
yeah.
My guys are unblockable. I've got a Cartel Aristocrat that's, you know, gives me a sacrifice outlet if I need it. In addition to the Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, you know, my guys are really good. Oh, I guess I lose. You know,
right.
You just play a Blasphemous Act.
I mean, that's one of the big appeals of the Act 2 deck.
Sure. One
of the reasons it was considered just such a strict upgrade so long, because it does have these like great, real synergistic combos.
Yeah.
And the deck, Blasphemous Act plus Blood Artist is a really big deal.
Yeah, and then you don't even need to have them at 13, or you know, if you have a Reckoner on board, they could be higher than that. You can do things like that. But yeah, like there is some great synergy in the Act 2 deck.
Yes. Act 1 is primarily a beatdown deck with minor synergies. The Act 2 deck has far more.
Yeah, as you saw, Blasphemous Act on the screen. It costs 9 mana, but it costs 1 less for each creature on the battlefield.
So not even close to 9
yeah,
mana.
nowhere close to 9. And Johnny even made it worse by adding another knight. Made it easier by adding another knight.
So if we go to sideboard, John does not have much for the mirror. He has.
Well, it's not much of a mirror, I guess, is it?
Yeah, for an Aristocrats type mirror. There's a bunch of cards like Sever the Bloodline is good if Casey doesn't have an Aristocrat, a card with the Aristocrat ability. He has a Blood Baron of Viscopa, which is a very big deal. The other, and he has 2 Thundermaw Hellkites, which are a really big deal. Clear the Skies, Lingering Souls, shut down, Falcon Wrath Aristocrat is tapped and probably takes a guy with him. What he doesn't have is a good way to kill a Blood Artist. So that might be the thing.
Besides his main deck.
Yes, he has 5 cards in his main deck, 1 Orzhov Charm and 4 Tragic Slips. Those are very good against Blood Artist. But I think without one of those, I think Blood Artist is like the best card in this sort of matchup. And Casey has all of them.
Yeah, all 4 main deck.
Right. And Casey also has a lot of access to pretty much all the cards except for Knight of Infamy. Knight of Infamy is probably like the biggest card John has access to, but Casey doesn't.
Yeah, not
but
even.
It says like that gets trumped by a lot of the cards like Blasphemous Act, Sorin is pretty good against it, and Tragic Slip. Tragic Slip generally needs to be saved for like, you know, your champions, your Falcon Wrath Aristocrats, things like that. But can be quite imposing. There's also a nice philosophical difference between the decks. Casey has Obsidat as just a mid-range. This card is really awesome, so I'm going to play it. Whereas John has a far more synergistic but much less powerful Zealous Conscripts in his 5 mana spot. I would imagine both decks siding up a significant amount of 5-drops, especially John. Yeah. John has Zealous Conscripts,
Hellkite, Blood Baron.
Hellkite and Blood Baron in the Scopa. So
Casey, just for one thing, aside from this matchup, it's the first time I've seen it. 2 copies of Glaring Spotlight in his board. Obviously not for this, but I love it.
Yeah, you just wanted to say you saw Glaring Spotlight. The only thing that could make it better is if John was somehow switched into a hexproof deck.
Oh wow, that would be.
In case he had the Spotlight. It's also like a falter effect, like the creatures can't block. Your creatures are unblockable, I believe.
You know what? I don't even remember. It's the one casting cost. Your opponent's guys that have hexproof can be targeted.
Right.
And then your guys.
And then you can sacrifice it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to like sacrifice it to get that effect.
Fortunately, his props for the Glaring Spotlight. Putting the Glaring Spotlight on the Glaring Spotlight.
Yeah, but as far as the rest of his sideboard, he's got an additional he's got a Thundermaw Hellkite to the 2 in John's. He's got an
Olivia.
He's also got an Olivia here that likely to come in. Does some good work. Deals with those Knight of Infamies as well. He's got another Blasphemous Act if he decides he really like that.
I think that's.
I like that plan.
Yeah, I think John is much better. Like, I think Casey is going to have to big finish these games. He's not going to be able to like win a back and forth. There's got to be some sort of either like Blood Artist like blocking and trading, like Blood Artist dominating a game, or it's got to be another Blasphemous Act game.
But
yeah, I think John's creature base is going to be superior in this matchup. He's just like far more, just better on the board.
And John leads with a Godless Shrine, taking 2 damage to play a Doom Traveler.
Champion of the Parish.
I'm sorry, Champion of the Parish. Man, I called Farseek Thoughtseize last round, so it's at least a little closer.
Oh, wow, there's a Pillar of Flame just drawn from Casey. That's very interesting. They decided to bring it in. So it's generally pretty poor.
Yeah, he's just got 2 on the board.
Yeah, it's just like very non-synergistic with the rest of your deck. But I mean, obviously very good here. Maybe he was just worried about the Knight of Infamies. Oh, he has a Tragic Slip as well. Pretty sure I'd rather Pillar. I think Tragic Slip is far more valuable later.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a Doom Traveler.
I'll let you call that one.
And a slip for the champion before it gets the trigger resolves. So he decides that he goes with the slip. You know, I think I like what you said. Just go ahead and use the pillar when it's available. And we have another Cavern Demon Human and another Doom Traveler for John. In case he draws Cartel Aristocrat, I believe.
That'll be good in the matchup. Good in the board state, I should say. And just a key cog to the Aristocrat deck. I love Cartel Aristocrat. I think it's a fantastic card because you're not playing it just for power. You're playing it because of various synergies you can get with it.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. And like, there's a human reanimator deck. So we see Pillar of Flame take out the Doom Traveler. So John plays 3 creatures on his first 2 turns, but Casey plays 2 removal spells on his turns, and John is just left with a Lonely Doom Traveler.
Yeah, Pillar does a good job of circumventing that Spirit token, and we've got a Cartel Aristocrat on John's side of the board.
Yeah, and that's excellent because it has protection. With the Doom Traveler, so removal is not going to factor in with the Aristocrat. So you're gonna have to block it. That's a good blocker.
It is. Boros Reckoner, pretty good, pretty solid.
I do believe John has an Orzhov Charm. That's going to be the card cast here.
And it is Orzhov Charm to take out the Reckoner. Trying to keep
much better to take 3 than 26.
Yes.
See what
land go, says John, after the Orzhov Charm and some attacks.
So
you see a Blood Artist in Casey's hand.
I believe a Falconwrath Aristocrat? Or maybe Cartel Aristocrat and Blood Artist.
And it is.
Yeah.
Cartel Aristocrat, Blood Artist come down.
And I know there's a Lingering Souls in Casey's hand, so very, very powerful.
Yeah, as long as as those creatures can stick around a little, he's gonna have a pretty good board set up. Next turn.
Yeah. So looks like another Cartel Aristocrat and a Godless Shrine only for John.
And he is hellbent, empty-handed.
Yep. Not really fun. He just drew all of his 1 and 2 mana cards.
Yeah, he's just able to cast all his spells and hit all his land drops. It's pretty much how.
Not necessarily what you want to do when all your cards cost 1 and 2.
Right.
But that's what. But John still does have lots of 5 mana cards in his deck. Fairly potent. But Casey's got the options at the moment.
Right. He can go Lingering Souls here. He can go Falconwrath Aristocrat. Which
I believe Doom Traveler.
Looks like he's got a Doom Traveler and he's got Lingering Souls.
Yeah, I like Doom Traveler plus Lingering Souls quite a bit.
Well, it looks like he just went with Lingering Souls.
Oh, you can't cast both.
Yeah, he only has one white
one
source.
white, yeah. So 2 Lingering Souls it is. And that'll shut down John's attacks because he does not want to be not really in the market for trading creatures with Blood Artist in play.
Right. Yeah.
He
loses in that exchange with the Blood Artist trigger.
Even if he attacks with like both of his Cartel Aristocrats and just sacks one.
Right.
He's going to sack his Doom Traveler. Casey's going to sack one of his spirits. But Casey decides to make an attack. See, I don't like this attack, and I do not like this block.
Alright, so it looks like Aristocrat is attacking, and John is blocking with his Aristocrat. And as you mentioned, Casey sacrifices his Spirit, and John sacrifices his Doom Traveler.
So, yeah, basically what happened is they both lost a creature.
Yeah.
But Casey got 2 Blood Artist triggers.
Yeah.
It also makes any like Thundermaw Hellkite type things that John will draw much worse. So I do not like that. I did not like the attack from Casey. I did not like the block from John, but it worked out in Casey's favor for sure.
Yeah, he got the triggers off of it.
Silverblade Paladin.
Yeah. Now we've got some white sources. Now we can cast Silverblade. Where's the Soul Bond?
I imagine it's on the Cartel Aristocrat.
And it is.
Yeah.
So.
I would also, attack with both, for sure. I also, you kind of want to leave the Spirit back. I think I like leaving the Spirit back because John needs something to sacrifice. Should he need the ability to sacrifice, the Spirit is the disposable creature at the moment. And whereas Casey has far more action, and John needs to end the game very quickly.
Right. I mean, you can kind of see he's trying to put on some pressure here.
Yeah.
He's only threatening 5, but... I'm sorry, the double strike.
So
7.
7 if no blocks, but I expect the Spirits to trade off, and it actually ends up being 4 after the Blood Artists.
Spirits die, Blood Artist triggers.
Yeah, 6 damage from the 2 Cartel Aristocrats comes through, but 2 Blood Artist triggers from Casey puts Casey, I believe, 8, and then John at 11 once our life totals update. This is going to be Falcon Wrath Aristocrat Doom Traveler, I believe, if he's willing to pay 2. I'm not sure that he is, but if Casey's willing to pay 2 life, he can also go Hellbent. One thing that's might consider is Casey capable of killing John this turn?
Yeah, that's what I'm sitting here trying to figure out. Is there something that he can do?
So 4 from the Aristocrat, 2 from having 2 humans, and then there's only 3 creatures. So I don't think it's lethal.
Yeah,
but it's still
John's at 11, right? So John should be at 11, Casey at 8.
Right. I think that Casey can do 10 if he wanted to. If he's going to go all in, he could do 10.
So there's Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, and that's just swinging by itself.
Right.
So it should knock John down to 7. Doom Traveler enters the fray.
I'm interested. I could think of a convoluted line. If John was at 11, I think Casey can do 11. If he sacks the Doom Traveler to the Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, makes it a 5 power, and then sacks the Spirit to the Cartel Aristocrat, and gives that unblockability. I believe that can total up to 11 damage, but I'm not sure what the... And then post-combat, you sacrifice the Aristocrats to themselves for 2 more. And not like this attack from the Silverblade Paladin. It's probably just going to get eaten.
So Paladin and Aristocrat coming in for John Douglas.
This is not a very profitable attack. Cartel Aristocrat's not easy to play against.
So Doom Traveler sacrificed to Cartel Aristocrat to give it protection from Silverblade Paladin, and Silverblade Paladin dies. Of course, Doom Traveler dies.
There's a not a very good attack from
John. Gets in with nothing,
from John.
No damage.
It might just be a desperation. I think he just drew a land. And he's like, hey, I'm dead. Casey needs to go through the motions.
Yeah. Try to do something to make him make a bad play. And so now Casey,
and that'll be the handshake. John basically dumps his hand, but has 5 lands, and that's too many for his particular draw. Because his draw was contained all 1 and 2 mana cards.
It's really interesting the synergies in these decks. Like just since the Pro Tour, we've seen it. It's kind of
there's been 3x of the Aristocrats. Which is amazing. Yeah,
it's almost like should Brad's version just be called like Encore or something?
If you've seen his Twitter, he's trying to name it very Aristocrats.
Yeah, something like that. Trollcrats. I don't. That one doesn't work. But I think if you go with the theme, Act 1, Act 2, and then Encore or something, Curtain Call. Any of those are good names. Too bad there's no Encore creatures in there.
Oh man!
Because then Encore would make a lot more sense. But
that's cool. So we hadn't seen the Aristocrats all day. And of course, what do we see?
Aristocrats versus Aristocrats. Same thing with Jund, last round.
We hadn't seen any Jund.
That was a 75-card mirror.
I believe Devin and Joy are friends. Devin Kepke joined this.
So they both decided to host.
I'm sure they talked to each other. And built that. I like seeing 75-card mirror matches.
It was cool, and it's cool. Like they know each other. They both are doing well. They're 5-0 once they met in round 6. So obviously Joey moved on 6-0. Devin 5-1. I don't know what their situation is now. They could both end up being 6-1. One if Joey lost and Devin. So anyway, but I'm really